Hey everyone, this is Tasha from Starengu, and in today's tutorial, we're going to cover part one of a two-part series called How to Save Time Using Automation Tools. And so in today's video, I'm going to discuss how to use Buffer and Tailwind. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to save time using automation tools. Okay, so there's only 24 hours in a day, and I know if you're like me, you kind of wish that we had a couple more hours because there never seem to be enough hours in the day, especially when it comes to creating content, sharing content, and if you've got clients or a 9 to 5, it just gets a lot more complicated. And I'm sure with kids, I don't have any kids, but I'm sure that adds a whole nother layer of complication to your schedule. So I want to take away some of that burden by showing you how to automate a couple different things using various automation tools such as Buffer, Tailwind, If This Then That, and Zapier. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is, let's say for example you are trying to figure out how to you've got a lot of different content that you want to share, and I want to show you a couple different ways how to go about doing that, guys, if you're on a budget and all the way down. Okay, so Buffer is one of my favorite social media sharing tools because it allows you the ability to share to a variety of different platforms. So you've got Facebook, you've got Pinterest, you've got Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, all the major platforms, right? And so they have a free plan that allows you, if I'm not mistaken, to share at least 10 tweets, 10 tweets or whatever, 10 different types of social media posts to, I believe it's like 3 different platforms of your choice. Okay, so I actually have chosen to, right now I'm on the free plan because I'm actually testing out some other different integrations to see if I want to go back to using their paid plan, which I was using for a while. I probably will end up back on the paid plan again, but again, I was just trying to cut some costs. So I just wanted to see if these other ways are going to work out a little bit better for me. But again, I love Buffer. Okay, so in the event, let's say I wanted to send a tweet on Twitter, I can go ahead, set up my profile. And again, setting up a profile is free, guys. They have a free plan. And let's say, for example, I wanted to share one of my blog posts. So I'm just going to go ahead and look up one of my blog posts. Okay. And one thing I highly suggest that you guys think about doing is downloading the Buffer extension, because that extension is going to allow you the ability to share directly from the navigation menu right here. Not navigation menu, but from the toolbar. So like right here, I've got this right here, share with Buffer. So in the event that I wanted to go ahead and share this particular post, I can do this one of 2 ways. I can go ahead and click on Buffer, share with Buffer, and then it's automatically going to know which, it's going to bring in all my platforms that I have set up. So I've got my Twitter, my Facebook group, and my Instagram automatically set up, right? So let's say I just want to share it to Twitter. Okay, it's automatically going to send out this tweet: Weekend Warrior Tip, quality versus quantity. I have the ability to choose which social media pictures that I want to have associated with that. If I wanted to just be consistent, I can go ahead and just post the blog graphic picture here, or I can choose a different picture. If I also wanted to include my email mailing list picture, I can include that here as well. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and be consistent and put my blog post right there. Blog post graphic, I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and I can just easily just add that to the queue. Okay. So what adding that to the queue means that if you've already set up your the times that you would like to post your content, it's going to automatically fill that. So let me just show you. That's going to be a little bit more interesting here. So I'm going to go to Settings, Posting Schedule. Okay. So what that does is whatever schedule you have here, okay? And this is kind of off. I need to really tweak this because, again, I downgraded back to the free plan. So a lot of this is kind of, I don't know, it got messed up or something. So I need to redo this part. But you have the ability to actually set up your posting schedule the way that you want. So if you know that you're in the free plan and you've got like your 10 free tweets or whatever you want to send out there, you have the ability to set up this calendar the way that you want to. So I can go ahead, I can change this to, 1:12 p.m. if I wanted to, okay? And then however this is set up, when I go to add my content to the queue, it's automatically going to look at the closest time that's already posted, that you've got already set up here in this calendar section, and then it's going to send out the content around that time at the nearest time frame that's close to when you want to share that particular piece of content. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If not, let me know. So I'm going to go over to queue. Okay, and there you go, it's right here. Now let's say I wanted to set up one manually. I didn't want to use the extension, the Chrome extension. So if I wanted to set this up manually, I can go ahead and do it there as well. So I'm going to click here. I want to set up another tweet. I'm creating an automation tutorial. Okay. If I wanted to upload a picture, I can do that. Okay, by just clicking there and then choosing the picture that I want, and then all I have to do is come down here. I have the ability to share that particular tweet right now, or I can schedule it out at a later time. So I could change the date, and then I can change the time. Click schedule, and in fact, let's do that. Let's go ahead, schedule. So it'll be shared tomorrow at 9:03 p.m. And then if I wanted to change the time, I can do that, or I could switch to buffer schedule. So if I switch to buffer schedule, that's allowing them to kind of optimize when that particular post would do the best. Okay, so that's pretty much what sharing the buffer schedule means. I tend to actually do a mix of that. So it's, to figure out which scheduling and times work best for me. So it's completely up to you and how you see fit in doing that. So in a nutshell, why I love Buffer is because you have the ability to look back at the analytics of your content as well. So you can see how well, your content is performing, the number of retweets and things of that nature, you're able to quickly see. And it lets you see also, how often are you sharing particular pieces of content? Are you sharing them too much? Or which topics resonate with your audience even more so? So that's one of the main reasons why I love Buffer. Now, let's move on to, and guys, in case you're wondering, I actually happen to like Tailwind. When it comes to Pinterest, I happen to like Tailwind. Or another way that I'm going to show you how to pin to Pinterest a lot better than I like the feature for Buffer. And yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and close out Buffer. That's pretty much how you use Buffer in a nutshell. Now, Pinterest, okay? For those of you that are looking for ways to really increase your Pinterest game, you're going to want to go to Tailwind. I know there's Board Booster out there. I tried Board Booster and I just couldn't really get into that. I know they have, a lot of people happen to love Board Booster, but in my opinion, if you're going to really, really, really take advantage of the traffic that Pinterest has the ability to send to your site, tribes are a fantastic way of doing that. And where are tribes located? On Tailwind. So if you're going to be joining all these different Tailwind tribes, because let's be honest, sometimes it's a pain in the butt to try to get invites into different Pinterest boards, even though they say that they're open, it could take them what feels like years to actually get your request. Tailwind tribes, a lot easier in my opinion to join and to gain access to. So I don't know, I like to keep it simple. So I started with Tailwind and I really enjoyed Tailwind. So I enjoy Tailwind for the tribe feature, but also because of the ease in which you're able to set up your pins. So I actually have the the paid feature of Tailwind, and that's because I have sent out so many different. A lot of people have used my links to sign up for Tailwind that I actually ended up getting like 4 months free for Tailwind. And again, I truly enjoy Tailwind. So I'm going to show you some of the reasons why I like Tailwind. So Tailwind allows you the ability to join what's referred to as tribes. Okay. So tribes, to me, think of it as a Pinterest board, but it's a lot easier to join. I don't know how else to explain this, but you have the ability to connect with other pinners and share your content. You're able to interact a lot easier, in my opinion, as well. But it's just so much easier to set up your pins and forget it. So I'm going to come on down to Publisher. And then I'm going to go to Scheduled Pins, okay? So let's say, for example, these are all the pins that I've got scheduled, okay? Because I wanted to show you this first. If you are on the free plan, okay, believe it or not, you can still use Tailwind for free. If you are on the free plan, all you have to do is schedule your pin, come over to Pin Now. You're just going to have to hit Pin Now as many times as you see fit, pretty much. Or you can just pay the, I think it's like, what, $15 a month? And then have the ability to have your pins automatically pinned to the different Pinterest boards that you want, okay? So in case you're wondering, how would I go about using Tailwind? I'm going to go to my Pinterest file right now. And I'm going to let you know, being honest, I have been a little lazy and upkeeping my Pinterest file. So I'm like down to 68. I used to be a lot higher, and I'm trying to get better at getting back to that. So let's go to boards. And let's say I want to pin one of my pins. Okay, let's say I wanted to pin my After 9 to 5 Thrive Kit pin, okay? I'm hovering over this pin and you see Tailwind. You see that, guys? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then it's going to bring up, I'm going to show you this. It's going to bring up the ability for me to actually pick the different boards that I want this to be on. So I'm going to go ahead, and I love this feature too, because it actually lets you know in the event that you've pinned to that particular board, like how long ago you may have already pinned to that board, because you definitely don't want to go around spamming boards, okay? So it was about 25 days ago that I pinned to this particular pin to a board. So, you know, if I wanted to, I can go ahead and pin this again. I'm going to probably, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it, because 25 days, I mean, it's fine. It's up to you if that's too short of a time period. I think it's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. So I'm in all of these boards. That pin is going to pin to all of these different boards. Now, here's the beauty where you can actually add even more exposure to your content, okay? So I can click on Add to Tribes, okay? And if you have the paid version, you know, you definitely take advantage of this feature. And I believe that this feature is also available on the free on the free plan as well, but I think you're limited to how many submissions that you can have. So again, Pinterest has been changing things up, and I know Tailwind has been making quite a few changes as well, but at the time of this video recording, I believe that is the case, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click. These are all the different tribes that I belong to, and I'm also going to leave my information as well, because I have my own tribe called Goal Slayer. So in the event that you're interested and would like to join, feel free to send, feel free to take advantage of the invite that I'll have in this video. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add to 9 tribes. So now all of my pins have been added to the tribes that I chose. And I'm also going to add my information to my queue. Okay, so I can easily go ahead and add my pins to be scheduled to be released to these different boards. Now, if you are in the free plan, you can go ahead and just add to queue now. That's all you're going to have the ability to do. If you are in the paid plan like I am, you can go to use interval, and this will actually space out. Make this bigger. This will space out when your pin is going to be shown. And you have the ability to do that a couple different ways, okay? You have the ability to use the open time slots. So in the event that your schedule has some open slots, just like the name says, it's going to fill the pins in those open slots. Or you can use optimize. So that, and again, if you hover over the little question mark, you can see that's going to make sure that your information is being optimized, optimized times outside of your existing schedule, okay? So you have the ability to also choose exact. So however you place that pin, it's going to release it exactly at that time, 6:19, for all of these, okay? So I personally prefer staggering. I typically use the optimized. It's just me. And then I like to have at least 45 minutes to an hour between my pins, or not 45 minutes, but like 35 minutes to like an hour between my pins being shared, so I don't look like I'm spamming, just my content. So I'm going to go ahead, schedule now. Okay. Now, if I go to my schedule posts, it's going to show how my pins are being set up. Look at that. These are my pins. Now, a feature that I really love, guys, is this shuffle queue. So if I want to shuffle my pins so it doesn't look like I'm just sharing my pins, and clearly I'm not. I've got a lot of other people's pins in here. You can shuffle that, okay? So this is how you can go about saving time automating your Pinterest, okay? I'm actually in the middle of creating a Pinterest tutorial, so if this piques your interest, definitely be sure to check out my upcoming content creation sensation course, because I'm going to be, Pinterest is going to play a nice large segment in that tutorial, in that course, I should say. So that's a little bit, and I'm going to go into a lot more deeper detail regarding Tailwind and a lot of other tips and tricks that you can use.